What happens when you file wrong in Supreme Court of India? In this video, we'll explore the consequences of filing a wrong petition in the Supreme Court of India. What happens when you file a petition with incorrect information, incomplete documents, or without following the proper procedure? Can it lead to rejection, penalties, or even legal action? We'll delve into the legal implications and the importance of accuracy when approaching the highest court in the land. From understanding the court's procedures to avoiding common mistakes, this video aims to educate and inform viewers about the do's and don'ts of filing a petition in the Supreme Court of India. Hi, I am Advocate Dr. Saurabh Kapoor, bringing you a video on this fascinating topic like this. But before you start watching this video, I request you to kindly like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to my YouTube channel to view videos like this more. Please leave a comment below, telling your thought and idea about this video and future videos you want. Kindly share this video with your friends, family, and social groups to spread this knowledge. Today I'm diving into the chaos of filing wrong in the Supreme Court of India. Let's see what actually happens when you mess it up. When we think about the Supreme Court of India, we often imagine it as the highest authority in the land, where justice is served and wrongs are righted. But what happens when someone files a petition with the Supreme Court, only to realize they've made a mistake? Maybe they didn't follow the proper procedures, or maybe they didn't have the right documentation. Whatever the reason, the consequences can be severe. Filing a petition with the Supreme Court is a serious business, and it's not something to be taken lightly. You're dealing with the highest court in the land, and they expect a certain level of professionalism and expertise. If you mess it up, you're not just wasting your own time and resources, you're also potentially delaying justice for others. But despite the importance of getting it right, many people still file petitions with the Supreme Court that are incomplete, inaccurate, or just plain wrong. And when that happens, the consequences can be dire. Your petition might get rejected, your case might get delayed, or worse, you might end up facing legal action yourself. So why is it so important to get it right? Because when you file a petition with the Supreme Court, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing the entire legal system. You're setting a precedent, and you're showing the court that you're willing to do things the right way. Moving on to the common mistakes made when filing petitions, let's talk about lack of proper documentation. This is a big one. If you don't have the right documents, or if they're not in order, your petition is going to get rejected. And it's not just about having the documents, it's about making sure they're accurate, complete, and in the right format. Many people think they can just throw together a few papers and hope for the best, but that's not how it works. The Supreme Court has very specific requirements for documentation, and if you don't meet those requirements, you're out of luck. Another common mistake is lack of legal representation. Now I know what you're thinking. Why do I need a lawyer? I can just file the petition myself. But let me tell you, filing a petition with the Supreme Court is not a DIY project. You need a lawyer who knows what they're doing, who can guide you through the process and make sure everything is done correctly. And then there's the issue of incomplete petitions. This is when you leave out important information, or you don't provide enough evidence to support your case. This is a huge mistake, because the Supreme Court needs all the facts to make an informed decision. Sometimes people try to file petitions that are frivolous or vexatious. This means they're filing a petition just to harass the other party, or to cause delays. This is a big no-no. The Supreme Court doesn't tolerate that kind of behavior, and if you're caught doing it, you could face serious consequences. And let's not forget about the power of attorney. If you're filing a petition on behalf of someone else, you need to have the proper power of attorney in place. This is a legal document that gives you the authority to act on someone else's behalf, and it's essential for getting your petition accepted. Another mistake people make is they don't verify their petition. This means they don't check to make sure everything is accurate, complete, and in order. This is a crucial step. If you don't verify your petition, you could end up with mistakes that cost you dearly. And finally, there's the issue of delay. If you're filing a petition, you need to do it on time. If you delay, you could miss important deadlines and your petition could get rejected. Now let's talk about the legal framework governing filings in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has very specific rules and procedures that govern how petitions are filed and what happens when they're received. One of the most important things to understand is the concept of jurisdiction. This means the Supreme Court has the authority to hear your case and to make a decision. If you file a petition in the wrong court, or if you don't have the proper jurisdiction, your petition is going to get rejected. Another important concept is the idea of locus standi. This means you have the right to file a petition and to be heard by the court. If you don't have locus standi, your petition is going to get rejected. And then there's the issue of the court's discretion. The Supreme Court has the power to accept or reject petitions and to make decisions on its own discretion. This means that even if you follow all the rules, the court can still reject your petition if it doesn't think it's justified. Let's take a look at some real-life examples of cases where mistakes had serious repercussions. In 2019, a petition was filed with the Supreme Court challenging the government's decision to revoke Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. The petition was rejected because it didn't meet the proper procedures and it didn't have the necessary documentation. In another case, a person filed a petition challenging the government's decision to introduce a new law. The petition was rejected because it didn't have the proper locus standi, and the court didn't think it had the jurisdiction to hear the case. One of the most famous cases is the Ayodhya land dispute case. In this case, the Supreme Court had to navigate a complex web of laws, procedures, and evidence to make a decision. If the petitioners had made even one mistake, the entire case could have been derailed. Let's talk about a specific case that illustrates the stakes involved. In 2017, a person filed a petition with the Supreme Court challenging the government's decision to introduce a new tax law. The petition was rejected because it didn't meet the proper procedures, and the petitioner didn't have the necessary documentation. But here's the thing, the petitioner didn't give up. They refiled the petition, this time with the proper documentation and procedures, and guess what? The petition was accepted, and the case went on to make history. So what can we learn from this case? We can learn that even when we make mistakes, we can still correct them. We can learn that perseverance and determination are key to success. And we can learn that filing a petition with the Supreme Court is a serious business that requires attention to detail, expertise, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. In conclusion, filing a petition with the Supreme Court is not a trivial matter. It requires attention to detail, expertise, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. So the next time you think about filing a petition, remember the stakes involved and remember the importance of getting it right. Don't forget to share your own experiences in the comments below and check out my other videos on legal topics for more insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.